I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fam's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while sizzling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rock in Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. And welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? All right. I see y'all. What's good, party people? I see y'all out there. Our future media is in the building. It's your main man, Uncle Freezy, rocking. Rich Boy is in the building. JJ is in the building. What's good, y'all? Yo, yeah, let's start it right, man. Blue tears, orange tears, Florence tears. Bam, let's go. Ed Winning is in the building. Man, so I have this thought. I want to run this by y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Now that the Knicks have a young core that they love, what are they going to do with it? Right? Now that the Knicks have a young core that they love, what are they going to do with it? Will Salkin in the building. Evening. So I asked myself and others this question during the course of the day. Like, now that we're at this place where Knicks fans have a nice young core, what are they going to do with it? And it reminds me of the song from Third World. Now that we have love, what are we gonna do with it? Y'all tell me what y'all thinking, man. Julian Blum in the building. Okay, what's good, sir? What are we gonna do with it? And in my mind, and in my mind, the only piece that I'm not really fond on keeping is you know who. In my mind, I'm only interested in not keeping one guy. Y'all know who it is, right? Josh Hart. I don't want the Knicks to pay all that bread for a guy that you can get what he does from anywhere. El Maddox is in the building. I honestly don't think that well, let me ask this. Let me first ask the chat. Do you think Jalen Brunson is a keeper, or do you think we can upgrade over Jalen Brunson? It's just a question. It's just a question. Do you think Jalen Brunson is a keeper, or do you think we can upgrade over Jalen Brunson? Puerto Rico, ho! What's good, boss? So y'all think Jalen Brunson is a keeper? There is absolutely no upgrade out there. There's no upgrade out there over Jalen Brunson. I'm asking y'all. Right. I'm asking y'all. I have no idea on where the answers are gonna come from or why. I have my thoughts on Brunson. And my thoughts on Brunson are simple. Right? My thoughts on Brunson are simple. GI is in the building. The ghetto intellect is in the building. GI, what's good? My guy GI is in the building. Let me do this right off rip. GI here. I gotta put the link in the chat, man. What's going on? I gotta put the link in the chat now. Hurry. I honestly feel like, and this is my opinion, and I'm not, you listen, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. I don't want to force a certain thing. And quite honestly, I feel like I shouldn't even have to say that because y'all know me by now. Right? I don't want to force a certain thought or mindset on everybody. I just want to have the conversation. But I think Jalen Brunson is a mega star. Mega with a M. Not mega with the S. Right? I think Jalen Brunson is the mega star that the Knicks have been searching for since Pat Ewing, since Carmelo. No, since Pat Ewing. Since Pat Ewing. Even better. I think Jalen Brunson's impact is even greater than Carmelo Anthony. Right? I think Jalen Brunson's impact is greater than Melo. And I can hear everybody now like, oh man, you had to go there. Yo.
Yeah.
What's up, boss?
Baby. I love the title.
What are we gonna do with it? Yes. Yeah, man.
Love the title. Love the vibes. We on our way. Knicks at night.
Them.
No more crying. We're still looking for our 6'9" guy, but we patient. We in the off season, like, we're not stressed. Like every move that's gonna be made, we're not gonna be saying, how come that's not us? Because we're waiting on.
Yeah, we patient. Yeah. That's why I asked it. So GI real quick, I'm writing a book about hip hop, right? And I just wrote a story about I just wrote a chapter about the about how drug addiction affected me, right? And a young guy off the street kind of saved my life, kind of keeping me on the straight and narrow. Like a young guy, he taught me phrases like knowledge of self. He was a guy that was in and out of institutions. He was an old man, bro. He was like 14 years old. I was like 11. You know what I'm saying? But he tried to keep me on the straight and narrow, because all the stuff that he'd been through. But anyway, I'm said that all of that to say, you know what I'm saying? Me and GI, like GI and myself, we kind of have like this thing. I don't know if people notice it or not, but we kind of have like all these similarities, all these different lanes. Like our personalities occupy all these different lanes at the same time. I think I'm a better golfer though when it comes down to it, but as opposed to everything else, me and he and I are similar. My man. My man. Yeah, man. Okay. 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 Yeah, I see you. I see you. I see you. Yeah, I still think I'm better though. You know what I'm saying? I still think I'm better.
Where's your wins, buddy? The USAM tour comes through your way. You can jump on the USAM tour. I'll come down and meet you on a couple of legs. We'll meet at the majors. If you qualify for the majors.
Yeah, I'm hurt right now. I'm injured. But if it wasn't for the injury,
listen. It's been many a nights I've been on Knicks at night. And it might be Chuck. It's probably Chuck. Or Rob. They will remind me.
Yeah.
GI, you only as good as your availability.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's Ryan Cleveland. Ryan Cleveland. Your best ability is your availability. Right. But hey, but the 6'9" wing thing, I feel like we have to get some taller wings, right? But I also feel like we're kind of in a good place. I just don't know where we go from here. Right? Right? Because now that we found our young core and a core of pieces, what are we gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? Do you package some of these guys and upgrade for that 6'9" wing that you're looking for? Do you stay patient? Am I asking the same question over and over? Okay. All right. So basically where I'm at is I understand. I just don't. I may not have had a satisfactory answer. How about that?
Part of the problem is, if I can get you to admit to this, and it's a good thing. But I don't know what your opinion was. We haven't been here in a long time, Freezy.
Yep.
The Knicks team that was built, we weren't looking to retool it. We were looking to get it over the hump. We might change a power forward here, there, somebody next to Pat. Maybe we'd get a different point guard, but of similar skill sets, get the ball in the pack. Because remember, Pat would bring in Tim Hardaway to play with Pat Ewing. Pat Ewing would have choked Tim Hardaway out. Yeah. People forget Pat didn't play with that shot clock. He needed that ball in his hands in that shot. So he had guards with him that defended. They hit open shots, but they defended. So we weren't looking to make any philosophical changes with that team. We were just trying to beat Jordan.
Yeah. Which was a task in its own right. That wasn't even easy.
There's no modern day Jordans because Jordan wasn't getting up 3-0 and letting no team creep back on him. Right. So Jimmy Butler has proven he's not Jordan. Right?
Right.
We need to make the right move that doesn't change the chemistry. Chemistry is the only thing that's mattering, that is being proven to matter in today's NBA. Next to the wing that can do it all. Every team that's in the playoffs right now doing well has let me tell you something. You say what you want. That Michael Porter Jr., he compliments Joker so well. He compliments everybody so well. And he's 7 feet.
Right.
So he's probably one of the best wings left, next to Butler, next to Tatum. But well, they got two. Celtics got two in Tatum and Brown, but you need that guy. That's that
Right.
guy, the Tatum, the Brown, the Michael Porter. When they get a rebound, they push it up the floor. They free it up for other people. I am concerned whether if we get this guy, whether Brunson last year, if I had one knock on him, love him to death, he didn't play without the ball enough for me.
Right. Right. I
And
would say, I would say, I would say to that. I think we have to get him some help. That's one of the major things. I don't think quickly at this stage is the guy just yet, right? Even before he rolled his ankle, he wasn't really offensively challenging the Miami Heat. Um, what I'm gonna, excuse me, what I'm gonna say is I think we have to get a big complimentary guard, and I know it sounds like I say this on every show because I say it on every show, right? But I think it should be the priority. The priority is you have a guy in Jalen Brunson who's a shorter guy who has limitations. It's not like it's not like Jalen Brunson is Allen Iverson size and athletic, right? Jalen Brunson is Allen Iverson's height and probably an average athlete. You know what I'm saying? But with these guys on the perimeter, these superior guys, these superior athletes on the perimeter, these these guys, man, will take advantage of the slightest disadvantage that you have and exploit it. You know what I mean? So when you look at Jalen Brunson, I don't know if Quentin Grimes is the ideal guy to pair with Jalen Brunson. Not because I dislike Grimes, I do like Grimes, right? But the thing is Grimes doesn't present ball handling. He doesn't present the ball handling. He doesn't present the scoring explosion that you expect from a shooting guard, even though his numbers are good. His overall season numbers are good. Like for instance, Gi, did you know that Quentin Grimes finished 25 points a game in April?
I did remember that.
25 points a game, right? But the thing about that is Brunson was hurt. Brunson and Randall were out, right? So is it just that he only does that when those guys are out? Right? Or did he just do that against bad competition? I just like to see that more consistently.
I think the answer to your problem, if you would accept it, is right in front of you. And it's still the 6'9" guard. Because I think RJ has proven that he can score in so many situations now. His confidence is increasing.
Right.
And this I believe the lid is off. I think he took it off this playoff series after starting off slow. If there's anybody we could say figured it out, it's RJ.
It's RJ.
So let's get RJ to two. Let's get him to two. Let's get
So
our
what do you-
6'9" wing, and
Okay.
then our strength next year, night in, night out, which teams can't prepare for, especially when injuries with those $200 million players. They can't handle for every night. Well, I'm going to run at you at a high pace. I'm going to run at you quickly. Grimes, Hart, Hartenstein, and Obi. Every night.
Wow.
Every night. I'm going to let them loose, and I got to find a way in December to get them extremely confident because in the playoffs, I'm going to play really, really fast. I got to convince them we're going to play really, really fast with that second unit in the playoffs. And I really think that's the answer short term. Unless y'all tell me some stupid superstar shakes up, I think you gotta find a guard. I mean, a wing to get in there. And even if he can't do much, at the minimum, he's got to play a lot of defense and
Right.
and free up. And then you're going with Randall, RJ, and and Brunson. You guys go out there. Who's gonna get going in the first quarter?
Okay.
And between the three of them, you got three options to get it going in the first quarter. But you gotta let that bench. That bench is gonna have to be your identity until in lieu of a superstar.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I just think Tom Thibodeau. Shout out to Julian Blum. Julian Blum says Tibbs hates wings. LOL. I think I agree with him, DSJ. I think Tom Thibodeau is a chubby chaser.
I troll with love.
Yeah.
So the problem is Grimes is not aggressive enough to be more than catch and shoot, right? When the opportunity presents itself, he can do those things that we're looking for from a starting two guard. But there's a pecking order, and he follows that pecking order because, yes, Tom Thibodeau tells him to. He probably um, is very, instrumental in this is what I want you to do. You're going to do it because it's crazy to me that Julius Randle in one of those games passes him the ball and he's reluctant to shoot. The following play, Julius Randle tells him, after that debacle of a play, he tells him, "Nah, I need you to shoot that ball. When I give it to you, take that shot." And he knocks down the shot, and it leads to succession. But why do I have to tell you to take this shot when it's open? Sometimes be aggressive enough to say, you know what? I see that the play can break down, so let me just go ahead and create the offense for myself because I have the ability to do so.
Okay.
That's why I put him in the second unit. You just exactly described. He's still a young player. I get him in the second unit. Nobody's getting. You got to understand. Nobody is getting the ball out of Brunson's hands, and I'm okay with that for the time being. I'm damn sure nobody on this roster is getting the ball out of his hands. So I don't want Grimes out there hesitant. When he comes in, I want him looking over and seeing Hart and seeing and quickly guys he know that he can compete with offensively, and I think then he can unlock. And once he unlocks in that second unit, that's why I say I need to keep them confident by December because I want to keep them unlocked all in the playoffs. And those are going to be the guys that people are like, wow, you can't stop that second unit. But they have to truly be unlocked. They can't be inconsistent. They got to have some amazing numbers in some amazing circumstances.
Right.
So the answer might be somewhere in Toronto wearing the number 33 who might not remain with that team if he opts out of his player option in Gary Trent Jr.
Mm.
Wish he was bigger, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah, you might want the 6'6" and taller shooting guards. 6'5", I think 6'5" is serviceable for the defense that he plays, which is what a lot of people have been as far as comping Grimes' ability to. But he's done it on a consistent level because he's been in the league longer, right? Um, 17 points per game, and he's playing with all-star level players. So, although he does know there's a pecking order, he's also aggressive enough to take that shot. Like again, being able to read what's going on the floor and knowing that okay, Tom Thibodeau might want this play to be ran a certain way, but I see the breakdown already. So let me go ahead and have the high basketball IQ to take this play and create the shot for myself. The same thing I said initially with Grimes, where he's able to do it. And I agree with the second unit, he would probably thrive a lot more, and it would create the illusion at least that we could put Grimes in the starting lineup and be just as successful. Grimes just doesn't have that. He doesn't have that aggressive nature immediately playing in the pecking order under Tom Thibodeau's system.
You're still creating a problem. You're still not fixing the problem. It's gonna be a problem come late when you start slowing down. You guys are not addressing the fact that we cannot stop the 6'9" player. Trent Jr. will give Grimes out of there and maybe make that first offense flow better, but I still need to get better defensively. Tibbs is you can't. Tibbs is gonna grind offensively. He's gonna grind offensively. I don't care how pretty the parts look. He's not gonna let them loose because if he starts seeing that ball passing around, he gets fidgety because the more that ball passes around, the more turnovers he thinks he's going to get. Tibbs tries to limit the turnovers, keep the score low, and grind. So I'd rather get him a 6'9" big. I really would.
Right. But the Tibbs also believes that the 3-point shot is still a low efficient shot, considering the fact that the NBA now is nothing but 3-point shooting and layups. So, but I hear you though, because I agree. I think that at some point we need a small forward that's about Randall's height.
Okay.
Somebody that between the 6'8" to 6'10"
I don't
area,
think we
which is
I don't think we realize how much better RJ is going to be. I just really think that we're missing the fact that our growth is in RJ's growth. But
no,
and
I
Mitchell,
agree. I agree with that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been and I've said this before in the past stream. If you allow RJ Barrett to operate from the mid range, from the left baseline to the left elbow, it opens up his game a lot more. And I think those efficient shots that we're looking for, if he's able to knock those down, it expands his game and it gives him the opportunity to be able to go to the basket a lot easier.
Okay.
Because once that shot starts falling, the defenses have to play you differently. You know what I'm saying? We can't just clamor into that, you know what I'm saying, into the post because we know RJ is going to drive there. You know what I'm saying? And hope that, he doesn't pass because if he goes for that contested layup once again, then all it is just stack two people on it and, you know what I'm saying, that'll disrupt the shot. But if you start doing those stop on a dime baseline jumpers like what he did against Caleb Martin in game 6, and starts doing those a little bit more efficiently and with more repetition, then how do you guard that? Because he still can, bully into the post. And as long as, what I'm saying, you give him that consistent jumper in the mid range, why wouldn't you be able to expand your range beyond with that same level of consistency, knocking down 3-pointers?
Okay.
So all that said, yeah, I agree with you, G. I think if we can unlock another level of RJ, I think we'd find another level of success going forward. Now, with that in mind, do you put him back at the shooting guard position and then try to get you a small forward of the 6'8" type, the 6'8" height, or do you still keep him at the small forward and just bring that 6'8" guy coming off the bench?
no, that's my number one move is to move RJ to 2 and unlock him. Get Grimes in the second unit, unlock him, and get my 6'9" guy. Make Tibbs look a little smarter. And if Tibbs can't manage that, then I can. Because I need to make a decision on Tibbs sooner than later. If I never get him that 6'9" wing, I'm telling y'all now, you're gonna sit here and I'm gonna fight y'all forever. You can't keep beating up on Tibbs to do stuff. He doesn't have the tools. Everybody has that guy. Everybody has that Swiss Army knife. Y'all want two Tibbs who we already know is not creative, get stuck in this place. Y'all want him to be creative with less tools. No, you can't.
Yeah,
Can't.
nah, yeah, he ain't going. I don't think he going. There's Tibbs ain't going. Yeah, let me say that. Let me say this. Tibbs is a guy, right? Like Tibbs is a guy that has a team that shoots the 8th most 3-pointers in a season, right? So I just want to point out a thing, right? The Knicks shoot more 3-pointers than the Portland Trailblazers. The Knicks legit shoot more 3-pointers than the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks shoot more 3-pointers than the Atlanta Hawks, right? The thing is with Tibbs is the guys that he have operate Tibbs's game plan. They ass can't shoot, right? So it's like this weird. I don't know what the. I don't know how to be, because you said when we say take Grimes out of the lineup, Grimes shoots 3% higher on average than the rest of the Knicks roster, right? He just won't take many, right? So you're looking at a Knicks team that shoots the 3 a lot. They just don't make the 3 a lot. And the source I'm using for this information is ESPN.com, by the way. Right? So the Knicks shoot the 8th most amount of 3s, right? And they are the, where is it? I saw it. Hold on. Yeah, bear with me. The Knicks are the 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19th best team in 3s. DSJ, you remember we had this conversation last summer? Remember when I kept saying people were like, Tom Thibodeau's offense is whack. He don't run the pick and roll. And then I was like, no, he does run the pick and roll. But when you run it with Alec Burks, it looks whack. Remember that?
I remember.
Remember me pounding the table when you run the pick and roll with Alec Burks and RJ Barrett and the kid from the Bronx, the one with the bad knees, him and others, it looked bad. But all of a sudden, the team runs the same offense and Jalen Brunson is in it. All of a sudden, the offense looks a lot better because Jalen Brunson is in it. Now this summer, hold on. I got you. Now this summer, seeing the same thing that we saw last year, like the thing is, it's not that we don't shoot the 3, it's the people in those 3-point shooting roles that are whack. And in my opinion, I think the front office is going to address the shooting this summer by going out and getting us some nice 6'8", 6'9" wing players that can defend and also shoot the 3.
I just realized we don't have no first-round draft pick this year.
Or a second-round pick.
This team,
you know why, right?
Because we got Josh Hart.
Josh Hart,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're done. We're not. This team's gonna look like this next year.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Because right now with what you're saying, of course now we just have nothing but trade scenarios and free agency, right? So
no, that's not totally. That's not totally all we have.
I'm saying as far as but what I'm saying as far as like we'll have to buy into the draft because we don't have any draft picks.
Right.
So that would be like right now, like our immediate options without anything else involved is to either do signing free agents or to make trades. So the trade aspect, is there anybody in specific that you're looking at? Like maybe somebody in New Orleans, and it doesn't have to necessarily be Brandon Ingram. Like,
could it be Zion?
could it be Trey Murphy the third?
I don't think I don't know. Oh, let me rephrase it. You know how like you ask somebody something and they sound so opinionated. I don't think they're gonna trade. What I'll say is this: Trey Murphy is a valuable part of that franchise, and I think you would have to pay considerably to get a 6'8", 3-and-D player that finishes at the rim that is still on his initial rookie contract. That is going to be expensive. You feel me?
Yeah, I do.
So while I do, I love Trey Murphy, right? It's the reason why. Well, I ain't even gonna get into that, but y'all don't already know the story. You know, I'm not gonna go.
Because we cried during that draft.
Yes, I'm not gonna go all MC Shan on everybody. You know, cats go all MC Shan. You love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when. I ain't gonna get that. I ain't gonna do that, right? But what? In this year's draft, though, DSJ, there are teams with 4 draft picks, 5 draft picks, 3 draft picks.
Breezy
right?
just stole my idea. Go ahead.
Right. If I'm the Knicks, and I'm not throwing. You remember the title of this is "Now That We Found Love, What Are We Going to Do with It?" Right? Like now that we found a young core, what are we going to do with it? Right? Okay. So the thing is, I don't want to disrupt the apple cart by saying get rid of Obi at all cost, but I would consider trading Obi to Charlotte for their 3 second-round picks.
Nah, I'm not doing that one. Here's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the Rockets. I might try to offer them Obi in the future first round for this year's 20 and see if I can get one of them major old school. There's 2 Ignite 6'9" wings. There's about 3 or 4 6'9" wings. And I don't think they're going to get picked. I think one's going to drop to 20. I really do. They got one to slide up to 20 now. I think I'm going to go that route, the cheaper route, because I still want to be flexible for if a superstar comes, shakes loose.
Right.
Even though yours didn't give up no flexibility, but forget a bunch of second round. You ain't gonna get no talent there. Freeze, you get to 20, you get a better talent at 20 than 3 second rounders.
Right. I feel you. Except in this year's draft is deep in the. I've been scouting the top 100 players, and you know that'll be available. And now the draft is only 60 players, right? And 2 teams forfeit their picks, so there's only going to be 58 picks this year in the NBA draft. But I scouted the top 100 players, right? Or I'm in the process of scouting the top 100 players, and I think there are 75 players that could be drafted, right? But there are only 58 that are going to be drafted, right? And so what I'm getting at is do you need DSJ? Do you need a star player, or do you need a complementary player out of the draft?
At this point, I think it's the complementary piece.
Okay.
But specifically at that position of small forward.
Right.
So and because this draft is basically a wing draft,
or wing or small forward or wing.
Well, for me, I would say small forward, but okay. I do understand that again people would say the wing, but either way, I just want it to be at least of that height. You know what I'm saying, between 6'8" and 6'10".
I can count the number of star players that came out of number 20. Number 20, you basically getting a complimentary player, but one that especially the way the Knicks scout, I'd rather give them more tools, man. Can't keep value budgeting this thing, value engineering this thing. You gotta spend a little money. Buying in the 20 might be expensive, but we need to do something. Sign Hart and sign in the 20, then I think that's a little more talent pool. If not, let's see what old school free agents gonna walk in here. But man, I just realized no draft picks this year. Yeah, you got to sign, and then your free agency money is a little inflated because Hart has never been more expensive in his career than he is today. When you got to sign,
Yeah. Yeah, the Knicks are going to give him 4 years, $90 million. DSJ, if they give Josh Hart anything over $14 million a year, Leon Rose should be checked, right? He should be checked because it's clearly cronyism. Josh Hart is when you ask about what Josh Hart does good, people say the weirdest stuff. Oh, he's an energy guy. He's a rebounder. Well, he
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 rebounds
plays
well for his size.
yeah, he plays guard, bro. He's a guard. How in the world are you asking a guard to do the things that Obi does,
I finally
right?
became Freezy left me around free keep too long, Delano, because I now drink the free keep Kool Aid.
Uh,
Last year I was on the cronyism, and I don't think the front office is working hard enough, but they have proven that they are cronies. And right now it's working for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess it's chemistry. I want to know that Rose knows how to run a great organization and make it run out. You can run a great organization and never win a championship. That's for the elite.
yeah,
But right now, we need a culture. He's doing that. And I believe Hart is absolutely about to get a big cronyism check,
yeah,
which would, if with that in my mindset, knowing that we don't have any draft picks, um, the team might really look a lot like this next year.
yeah, yeah. What'd you think of DSJ?
I'm thinking free agency, and I'm thinking if I can offer that same $14 million deal to somebody like Harrison Barnes, who fits the criteria of what GI is looking for. You want a 6'8" player that can space the floor, that can defend and can rebound well enough, so that way the Josh Hart thing doesn't have to be the only deal that we have in terms of making this work.
Okay. I I ain't gonna lie to you. I would rather sign Dylan Brooks.
And playing besides RJ, or have him come off the bench for RJ.
Uh,
How you gonna shake a restricted free agent loose?
hmm, I think he's unrestricted.
No, he's restricted. I checked. So if he wasn't unrestricted, I'd be like, hell yeah, Josh Hart by. And then I would be mad at the front office if they passed on Dylan Brooks and kept Josh Hart. Don't know that it won't work because this chemistry may be working for them. But now that I realize, man, they gave up this year's first round draft pick for Josh Hart. You can't then. It's like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones gave up this year's first round draft pick for Amari Cooper. You knew damn well Amari Cooper wasn't leaving. I don't see nobody giving up a current asset to say, all right, yeah, you can walk. What did you get? You're not supposed to let your free agents walk for nothing anyway. And they went and not only did they let a free agent walk for nothing, they went and got something to bring him in to become a free agent. Nah, he's Josh Hart staying, guys.
Oh,
Staying.
jeez.
Josh
Josh
Hart,
Hart is
there's too
staying.
much writing on the wall. Tell me where you
Oh,
see him leave. Tell me where you see an exit strategy for a man 3 months ago you just gave up a first round draft pick for.
mm,
You just let him walk?
yeah, yeah. I think you just gotta let him walk. Yeah, I think you just gotta let him walk, bro. And there's no need in compounding a issue. You make a mistake, don't compound a mistake, man.
I think when you thought about going to get him, you thought about the price that it cost to get him, and yeah, there's no way you're not signing him. You're banking on that the number 20 pick today is never going to be better than Josh Hart.
Yeah. Mm,
That's what you're banking on because the Blazers are about to pick number 20 in lieu of having Josh Hart on their team.
uh, um. Yeah. I don't
You're not
know.
going. It's the cronyism. It's everything. The chips against you. Damn, I didn't know this was just someone that want to get rid of Josh Hart. That might not work in your favor. On
Yeah. Hey. So I'm with 19. I'm with 19 comment NYC 84. I would rather throw the bag at Jeremy Grant. Like, what are we even? Why? I'm like, in my mind, and listen, I don't know everything, but I do claim to be at least halfway intelligent, bro. Why would we throw the bag at Josh Hart when we can chase Jeremy Grant? Like
I
Jeremy Grant does 13 different things that Josh Grant don't.
then
First,
why then why did you feel so desperate? And this is what the Knicks fans, and this is probably where I gotta hang up because I'm gonna get a headache. Then why do Knicks fans feel so desperate last year to have to try to spin the wheels to get to the second round, to be disappointed about the second round, and feel like this should have been in the conference championship? You could have kept your first round draft pick in your pocket, and you'd had the freedom of the offseason. It doesn't make sense for you to make that move. You can't keep chasing your tail. It seems like you're chasing your tail. You're right. I know the question you're about to ask. You're 100% right. Then why did you make the move last? You're going to change your philosophy every 3 months. You're going to be in trouble as a GM.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. DSA, you got something for that?
No.
Yeah.
Um, I, I I think that was initially why I didn't like the deal because of the fact that it was a first round pick that we had attached to it. But I guess that's also the price that you pay for paying guys so much less money. Like you had to make up the difference. So we talking about a guy that makes 13.5 mil and the guy that makes closer to the highest amount of money on that team and that was involved in that trade is Cam Reddish on the rookie deal making $6.3 million.
Right.
Everybody else is making 1.5 each.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not yeah again not a
And
fan.
remember, and remember
Paid
that's two first round draft picks wasted in this situation if they don't keep Hart or Hart don't work out.
Yeah.
You use the first round draft pick to get Cam Reddish, and then you use the first round draft pick.
The trade Cam Reddish. Yep.
and
Yep.
the sad part about it is even now with Derrick Rose coming off the books, right, or more than likely coming off the books, that $14 million is still not enough to entice somebody to come on board that can help to fill that role that we're needing as far as the floor spacing
Yeah.
because everybody makes such an exorbitant amount of
Unless,
money at this point.
unless I'm gonna pray that unless Harrison Barnes just absolutely decides he wants to win. Although I don't know why I don't think he couldn't do it in Sacramento. They got
Yeah.
unless he just really wants to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I would do
The,
Jeremy Grant. And DSJ, how I get Jeremy Grant is I'm moving 28 roles in Hart. Right. That's 13 million, 15 million, and 19 million. I think that should be enough to get you. If 49, if what is it, $39 million? Like so it's 13, 15, that's 28, $37 million. If $37 million is not enough to get Jeremy Grant just can't get got.
So
I'm sorry.
we're at a press conference, Freezer. You pull that trigger. I'm say, okay, we're a little confused about the Hart thing. We thought you really liked him because you used the first round draft pick a few months to go and get him. What changed on Hart?
And I answer that, right?
Yeah,
I answer that. The first thing I'm saying is is I want to first thank Josh Hart for coming in and contributing to the success of the 22-23 New York Knicks. As we move forward with the 23-24 New York Knicks, we just felt like there were some things that we had to address. Like I had to get I had to the most important thing is this guy that's been a fan of the Knicks for a long time, named the Ghetto Intellect, said I must get a 6'9" wing. And this dude on this nighttime talk show named Uncle Freezy says we shot the eighth most amount of threes, and we shot it at the 19th best clip. So I had to shore that up. So I had to shore up a lot of things. And plus, we need a 6'9" wing defender. Somebody when we face the likes of Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, we can put him on that player defensively, and he can slow them down. And then when Jalen Brunson gets double teamed, or when Julius Randle goes into a funk, we have a secondary scorer that can take on the scoring load for the team.
Is it simply because Josh Hart was a free agent? I see you didn't consider moving RJ or Randall for that position that you're looking for.
I don't know. I just think Jeremy Grant is better. I think Jeremy Grant's deal, whatever it is, it's like, what is it like? Probably be like what, 34 million? I think Jeremy Grant at 34 million for 4 years is worth more than Josh Hart.
You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you move? Why didn't you move RJ for it and keep Hart? Why didn't you move RJ? Why was it that you were immediately ready to move Hart, not RJ or Randall for Jeremy Grant? That's my
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those two dudes are under contract. Jeremy Grant is a free agent. That's
Plus,
the main
if you
reason.
believe in them being part of the core,
Yeah.
Of the first unit, then you wouldn't want to disrupt that for secondary pieces and guys that really ain't even in the rotation anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh Hart doesn't really do anything that makes you think. For instance, Trae Young, just Trae Young, for example, with all the flaws in Trae Young's game, he does one or two things exceptionally well, right? Like for all the flaws in RJ's game, he does one or two things exceptionally well, like some skill things, right? Like RJ, regardless of how you feel about him going to the basket, with his limited athleticism, you can't stop RJ from getting to the basket. You just can't. Teams try to stop RJ from getting to the basket, and it's like watching paint dry, but you can't stop him from getting there. It's like watching Paul Pierce drive to the basket. Now he don't finish like Paul Pierce, but you can't stop him. But then when you say offensively in half court, what's Josh Hart gonna do? You're like,
Yeah, but RJ's starting to get respected. He's getting to the free throw line a lot more.
yeah.
And now he's shooting about 80%.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm telling, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling Josh Hart to have a nice life for the Charlotte Hornets. Or wherever he goes. He just don't present a so GI, if Josh Hart was 6'9", excellent.
That's not fair. I just think Josh Hart is your low hanging fruit tonight, and we'll see how it plays out. I just don't think that you can play with assets like that and win long term, and they really have no value for these draft picks. And maybe they're not in. Maybe I don't know.
So if we didn't do the Josh Hart trade, that's why Josh Hart is not low hanging fruit.
Didn't do the
because if we didn't do the Josh Hart trade, that thing
in better position
that you said at 20, at 23, 20, wherever we would have been, right? We would have did that without having to make a move.
I don't know what that means. I think if we don't do the Josh Hart trade, we're in better position to get Jeremy Grant. Because then we can do a sign and trade. Give Detroit that. Where's he at? Detroit? Where's he at these days?
No.
Is it Portland?
Yes. Yeah.
That's stupid. We got the wrong dude.
And talking about Josh Hart, right? Yeah. If you don't
We
do
should
the
no. We should have got Jeremy Grant, not Josh.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing out here? Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, the other element to it is maybe if we just stood pat, right,
I think it's crony.
and did absolutely nothing and allow them to come in free agency. We don't have to pay Josh Hart because if he does opt out, right, with Portland and become a free agent, then okay, you just want guaranteed money.
right.
And we'll sign you for less money coming here at that point in time. And we still have enough money to go after a Jeremy Grant
I'm
if
about
we
to
feel
turn it
like
in.
that's the
I got 9 o'clock tea time tomorrow. I'm about to turn it in, but I will say this: I don't see a GM using a first round draft pick to go and get a guy heading in the off season. The guy did everything you needed him to do. You see that he has some shortcomings though, but he did everything you needed him to do. And then you find yourself trading him. I don't see that happening. But I got 9 o'clock tea time. Love you, brothers. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right, boss. Yeah, man.
but yeah, I mean those are the pros and cons of making these type of deals. Which also presents the inevitable question: is Tom Thibodeau failing upwards? Because we basically got rid of Cam Reddish because he was no longer a fit in Tom Thibodeau's system, right?
And Farron Hunt. Remember, Farron Hunt made the opening day roster.
Right.
A 6'8" athletic wing made the opening day roster. Tibbs didn't play him because Tibbs is a chubby chaser. Tibbs wants his
So
play is 6'4", 220.
and it's funny because the first thing I'm thinking about is, well, you sure didn't have that problem in Chicago when you had Luol Deng at 6'8", 200, 219 pounds, doing exactly what I'm asking RJ to do right now.
Yeah, well, he did though. DSA. Remember, he had Keith Bogans and Kirk Hinrich.
Yeah. No, I'm saying as far as on the team that he had like Luol Deng as well. So that 6'8" guy was already under
Yeah, he didn't
contract
have
with you.
say. They didn't listen to him. They was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
man, you're not talking about personnel. Just go out there and coach. You ain't
Right.
making no personnel decisions. You coach the team. We do personnel, right?" I think that's where we may have a falling down, where Tibbs has say in personnel. Don't tell us who to go get. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't tell us who to go get. You just coach, right? And you better play certain players, right? And that's where you know, here's what it is.
So do you get rid of him and try to bring somebody else in
Who
despite
Tibbs?
the success?
No,
Right.
I ain't. No, I ain't. Yeah, no, Tibbs ain't going nowhere, bro. Tibbs ain't going nowhere, bro. Tibbs gonna be here for the next 6 years, easy. And Knicks fans gonna be mad as hell for 6 years.
I'm about to say we're about to be absolutely angry.
Yes,
We're gonna
yeah,
have fits
we gonna be like, yo,
starts
we
of the
go.
season when we go like 10-13. Fire Tips. Isn't he on the hot seat yet?
Yeah, 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 man. We are gonna be like them people that vote for a guy that lose the presidency. We are gonna be like them, like and I'm not getting into politics. I'm just using this as an example. We are gonna be like the Mitt Romney fans that saw Mitt Romney lose to Obama, and you're like, dog it, we got this dude for 4 more years. That's what we're gonna be like with Tibbs, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? In my opinion, it's gonna be that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, yeah.
Which is another reason why I kept on saying too that the worst thing that could happen for the Knicks is success. Because now we take away a legitimate reason to get rid of him.
So, man, do you hate Tibbs that much? That Tibbs gotta go?
Um, Not that I hate him. I just think that in terms of what this like, I think if we had him coaching the team in 2019, 2020,
Yeah.
when he had the veterans. I think he's best suited to coach a team full of guys that already have roles that are veteran guys. Um, Wayne Ellington would work well with him. You
Yeah.
know, Reggie Bullock worked well with him.
Yeah.
But with young guys, I just think that he struggles with, again, just teaching them to be in that position. They'll
Adaptability.
eventually get it,
Right.
because that's the struggle that happened in Minnesota. You had a
Right.
bunch of young guys trying to teach him a system that didn't work. So let me get rid of all these guys and bring in Jimmy Butler and turn the Minnesota Timberwolves into the Minnesota Bulls, because now you bringing in everybody else. Hey, Lou Deng, you still available? Derrick
Right.
Rose, I know you. I know your knees is kind of shaky, baby, but if you could play, we'll
If you
we'll,
could
we'll play you.
play, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, Taj Gibson. Hey, how's that jumper working? That baseline jumper, is that any better? Okay, well, come on, I'll take you.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
became that.
Yeah. Yeah. Um in terms of the now that we have a good team, what are we gonna do with it theme? Um I think it's kind of in the mold of let's see what's out there. Let's see let's see what's out there and then we'll start shopping, right? Like and like
Right.
as opposed to trying to force something to happen. I think it's more along the line of let's see what's happening out here and then we can adjust from there.
Yeah, because I'll be honest. There's a few pieces that I would love to trade for. Besides the ones that I've mentioned already, I wouldn't mind taking on Najee Marshall
New
and
Orleans.
having him on the roster. Yeah, I think that's really why I focus so much on that team in terms of making moves. While everybody was talking about Zion and Brandon Ingram, I was like, well, I'm looking at their bench. I'm looking at the quote unquote role players, because Brandon Ingram, as long as he's there and he's playing the position, um you're playing Trey Murphy the third at the power forward because Zion's not available.
Right.
But that's not his role,
Okay.
which is another reason why I wouldn't mind doing the Obi trade with New Orleans if that brings me Trey Murphy the third. I got a power forward. If anything, I just need to get a backup power forward to Julius Randle now.
So Najee Marshall is 6'7", 220.
Oh, okay. See, that's another thing too. I can't stand the different listings of these guys, because what I remember was he was listed at 6'8".
Okay. So what's
But
the difference? Like what were you looking for though?
yeah, that's what I was looking for. Wanted to fit the criteria of that between 6'8" to 6'10", plays a small forward, known for his floor spacing and defense.
Right.
Um, Basically a 6'8" version of what we thought Reggie Bullock should be.
Okay.
And then it allows RJ to, play the shooting guard slash small forward, depending on the roster, the lineups. You know what I mean? If you wanted to go small ball, then we could throw RJ at the three. If we wanted him in the starting lineup to play the shooting guard with the
Right.
efficiency aspect, then we could play him there as well.
Right. Okay. So E. Gibson says move off of Fournier and Rose contracts, make some package deals.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, I think it's definitely easier said than done. Definitely.
Because
Definitely.
for all the time that I've been saying it, like I said initially that I didn't like the Fournier deal because two things. One, I thought it was an exorbitant amount of money for a role player that has a limited role, and then the other part is it's too long of a term. So the flexibility to move him rests on specific years. Like we'll have to wait till year 3 in order for him to be movable, and he probably won't even be moved until the deadline. So you'll have to stomach him for at least another half of a season before you can move off of him. And
Mm.
I just didn't want that to be a factor. Um, so we might have to stomach this team as is for at least another season and then make the move in 2024, 25, because that's when everybody comes off the books with no clause as far as, there's no
You're talking about Rose and Fournier, right?
right.
But who's going to be in free agency that's worth getting in 24? Kawhi
Um,
Leonard? You want a 35-year-old Kawhi Leonard?
well, I think at that point, if Jalen Brown wins a championship, that might be an option.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest, I think that with him, I think he wants to complete the mission, win the championship with Boston, and then at that point you can command whatever, what I'm saying, you want, because I'm a 2-time All-Star. And now I'm an NBA champion as well. There's nothing like at that point like the resumes, what I'm saying, enough to at least demand more than what was expected at like maybe 27 million. Okay, now I think I'm worth more than that because I've already done this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm thinking about what you're. I don't know. I don't know. Chat. What are y'all thinking? Y'all agree with DSJ? Chat. Y'all agree with DSJ? What are y'all thinking? DSJ, I ain't gonna lie to you.
They're probably thinking, get back to trolling.
Enough of this common sense. We want dreams. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have any 2K trades for y'all. I don't. I just I'm trying to play the numbers, things that'll make it a lot easier for us to acquire players that fit the mold of role players. I don't know if a star is obtainable, and maybe part of it is because I don't believe in the front office's ability.
Okay.
I think every move that they've made has been basically tailored to that specific organization.
Okay.
And their allegiance with CAA. So
Right.
Brunson being a part of that initial family, Josh Hart being Brunson's teammate in college and having that history, it
Yeah.
just screams nepotism. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes. Yep. I ain't gonna lie to
So
you. Yes.
yeah, so now it makes it hard to sit there and say, oh yeah, they've been making all kind of moves. They make small incremental moves, and one move that they made that benefited us looks a lot bigger because he was an underrated star playing alongside Luka Doncic, who's essentially a bona fide all-star. So now here you come, to this team, and we're just hoping, hey, just be as efficient as you was in Dallas, and
Right.
he exceeds
He
expectations. And
exceeds
now he looks
expectation.
like, man, he should have been an all-star, should have been all NBA. He's already
Right.
in line for the Most Improved Player award. So
How he didn't win Most Improved this year is ridiculous in my mind.
I'll be honest. I thought, if anything, him being on the list was a plus because of the fact of what I saw already in Dallas. Um, I knew that he would eventually be on that list. But Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Laurie Markkinen, um, I understood why they got on the list, especially if we're talking about the entirety of the season. But the way the season ended for Utah, for him to get it, yeah, that was real questionable.
Questionable at best. Right. Yeah.
But that's what they do to the Knicks. They find ways to lure us in with the possibility of winning
Yeah.
any kind of accolade and say, yeah, nah, we'll give it to somebody else.
Give it to somebody
Because
else. The other
Quickly
guy
should have gotten six.
deserved it. Yeah.
Quickly should have been 6 man, but the first thing they said was, well, he played a lot more games in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And the first thing my rebuttal is, well, at least he played.
Well, at least he played, bro. Right. At least he played. So yeah, man. I don't know how to fix it. Like I don't know how we go about doing it because Hoodie Kev came on the other night screaming about Karl Anthony Towns, right? And I came on last night talking about Donovan Mitchell. And
And see those moves. Here's the question with that move, right? Um, you get rid of Carl Anthony. You get rid of who for Carl Anthony Towns? Are we getting rid of Mitchell Robinson, or are we keeping Mitch and hoping that
no, you can't
we can
trade
turn Carl Anthony Towns into
you can't trade Mitch to them because they already have Rudy Gobert.
right? So and see that to me is where the problem lies because I feel like Carl Anthony Towns is best suited at the five. I don't think he's as productive at the power forward spot.
Right.
And the one thing that I didn't like about Carl Anthony Towns is he has the James Harden syndrome. If the ball's not in his hand and the game and the play's not called for him, he will stand in the corner and pout.
Yeah. Devin Booker.
And there's no crying in basketball.
Devin Booker. Yeah. 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 Um. Yeah. I would. I'm open to. Right. I'm open to acquiring Donovan Mitchell and Karl Anthony Towns only if I'm only open to Karl Anthony Towns if we have a dynamic backcourt. I don't want Karl Anthony Towns if he's going to come here and just be a scoring big. If he's going to be our Vucevic, why not just go get Vucevic? He's cheaper.
Right.
If you're going to get an all off, if you're going to go get a center that's just all offense, no defense, go get Vucevic. He's cheap. You might be able to sign him outright. Right? But I would be amenable to Cat if we have a dynamic backcourt and the emphasis is score. Right? Like you have your lineup is some kind of mix of Brunson, Spider, Karl Anthony Towns, and two other scorers. And now you can't stop a nosebleed, but they can't stop you either.
Right.
That's my only way I'd even consider. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest, and I've been saying this in the chat. If I'm making any moves, I would be willing to trade again. It would have to be like somebody like Obi, who some teams might look at him and say yeah, I would want to move Obi. Again for the players that I mentioned because at the end of the day, um, especially like I said, with New Orleans, they just don't have Zion Williamson healthy for how many seasons? So
He gone, bro.
you're in need of a power forward. And
I can see Zion in Portland for that number 3 pick and stuff.
yeah.
I can see them running it back with Simons, Shaden Sharp, Jeremy Grant, Zion, and Dame Lillard, and all Portland's future draft picks will be in New Orleans. I could see something.
And we can slide in there somehow, and we can get Obi to go over to New Orleans in that deal, and we'll take on Trey Murphy III. And it solves both of our problems.
Right.
So you guys are looking for a power forward that you can fill the seats with.
Wait. What'd you say?
It solves both of our problems.
No, not that part. You think New Orleans is going to take Obi for Trey Murphy?
I would hope so.
No, they ain't
Because
saying,
again,
we don't have no value like that.
it solves our problem. But yeah,
No.
but see, I think what it is
So does hitting the Powerball. That solves problems too, right? But
but from
no,
a marketing from the business standpoint, right? From the marketing standpoint, you guys want somebody that can fill the seats, and Obi can do that for y'all over there in a small market, right? So if his game does elevate, right? You still have Brandon Ingram, so you have somebody that you can put the franchise player tag on, so to speak, and have somebody as a complimentary piece because you'll have him and CJ McCollum playing the role of, what I'm saying, of backup, right? So
yeah.
you'll solve your problem in terms of
Nah, they going
marketing.
DSJ. Let me add this. Let me add this though. I think once Phoenix cuts Chris Paul, I think
Yeah,
that's exactly where he going
back to New Orleans.
to New Orleans. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I could see that happening. I could also see him. Well, nah, I can't even see that. I was about to say I could see him going back home to Charlotte, but why would you do that?
Why would you do
You
that?
know
They
what I
have a
mean?
point
If
guard.
you have LaMelo and you're trying to make LaMelo your point guard, your
Yeah.
problem is trying to move on from a smaller shooting guard in Terry Rozier.
Yeah. I think Terry Rozier is going to Phoenix. I think Phoenix is going to trade for Terry Rozier.
Does Oubre make sense in your possible scenario of obtaining
To
a
who?
small
To who?
forward to the Knicks?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
6'7" is okay. 6'7" is doable.
Yes. My only thing
Okay.
is Tom Thibodeau ain't really gone. Tom Thibodeau was a chubby chaser. Tom
Right.
Tom Tom Thibodeau is uncomfortable. He makes he is um stuck in that pattern where he prefers a certain type guy.
So Tom Thibodeau is Norbit, who's in love with Rasputia.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I
And
think Tibbs prefers that.
Tom Thibodeau loves
Tibbs,
Eddie Murphy movies.
yes,
Can I
Tom,
please get Nutty Professor 2, and Norbit?
yes, back to back. Can you put that in a plastic bag for me? that is Tom Thibodeau in a nutshell. 6'4", 220 guards. That's why he asked RJ to put on all that weight. You don't see what RJ looks like?
Yeah,
RJ looked like he about 228, 230.
RJ look like he eat nothing but hot dogs from the hot dog cart on 23rd.
Yes, bro. RJ RJ getting them fried hot dogs off the cart.
Maybe that.
Yeah, man.
But let me
Yeah,
go
man.
ahead and go. I just wanted to chop it up for a little bit because you guys had a great uh, great proposal, and I just wanted to see if anything that I could add made sense to anybody else.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm ready to go ahead and go too. I got a thing that I'm working on, and I got a deadline. I gotta get done by the beginning of June. So I'm sorry, guys, about my schedule being up and down. Thank y'all for watching the Knicks at Night podcast. I will holler at y'all in the morning. Peace.